Jerry's hit the button. Good morning, everybody.
We are live. Good morning.
Because they're going to want that minute back.
Oh, I know. Well, we were a minute over last week, so they owe us a minute. Yeah.
You guys owe us a minute. Okay. Good morning, everybody. Hope everybody.
Steve's under the weather. He said 2 weeks back, and the little kiddos finally got him sick again, or already got him sick again. So
I have no doubt.
And Bill looked like he was on the beach somewhere. I don't know if you guys saw his Facebook post.
Yeah,
he was at the beach there in
Thailand. Funny, Bill. Every post Bill does on the Back on Track group needs to be approved. Isn't that crazy? It's like just because he's in another country, it's got to be approved.
The algorithms, man.
Yeah,
algorithms. They got us all good. Good morning, Bernard. Dave over there, DES, Digger Evans, Gerald Stewart, Grandpa Rouse, Jeff Thornton, Lynn McCurdy, Messy Mason, Messy Modeler. Got a bunch. Are you the same people? You look like it. Chris Brew over there, Ray Bertelstein, Rob T-Man, CB and Q, Mark. Good morning, everybody, and anybody else who pops in. So there's like, two of you. They're giving us 2 likes there. That's nice.
Yeah, we never say, hey, hit the thumbs up. I rarely will I say that.
Well,
we're not monetizing or anything like that. So
Kyle Stevens, what's up? It still all helps. It helps us.
Well, it pushes the channel out more.
We're not an overly goal-oriented podcast, if that's the right terminology to use for the show.
We're not.
Is that what this is, a podcast?
Sort of, yeah. I mean,
video blog. Well, it's not even a video blog, is it?
It's a coffee train show.
Yeah. Coffee train show.
It's a coffee train show.
Yeah. So lately, there's Chuck. How you doing, Chuck? Good to see you. The Back on Track Facebook group's been getting a lot of posts from people with your projects. It's good to see your projects.
It's always good to see projects.
Yeah, it's good to see what you're all working on. It's
especially nice. if you come in and you have a technique or something that maybe, like, I forget who it was. Ronald, I think he's been in here before. He talked about his technique for creating mountains that had flour and water or something as kind of an alternate method of
like bread flour.
If I understood right, I don't know. I guess I could find the comment and I could read it.
Yeah.
Let me see.
What's up, JP? When are you coming up here?
Well, it'd be like,
JP has a pretty awesome layout.
It'd be like paper mache.
Is that
right?
What mache is flour?
Yeah. Yeah, you just make a paste with flour and water and dip your paper in it. Soak your paper and put it up.
Never did it.
Yeah, see? It's old school paper mache.
Steve 87, what's up, Steve 87?
And doing it with plaster is just an upgrade from that. Just a harder shell than paper mache. Although if you get paper mache enough on there, it'll get pretty hard.
Will it?
Yeah.
So, geez,
I'm finding a comment now for some reason.
But yeah,
that's he said he did it back in the 80s. So I don't think the railroad exists anymore. But I'm like, well, post pictures, where can I see your work?
Nah, I never did. I never made paper mache as a kid.
Oh, we did in school. Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't remember it being using flour though. I remember it'd be like Elmer's glue and newspaper is what we called paper mache or Mod Podge,
Yeah, maybe.
Well, yeah, you can do it with that, but the old school stuff was flour. You just make a thick I say a thick paste. You don't
Like
make
a
it real
batter?
thick because no, yeah, it's more like a batter. Maybe even a little bit thinner than that, but yeah, and then you soak your newspaper in it. The trick nowadays would be finding newspaper to put in it.
Yeah.
There's
Yeah.
no, I think there's not any newspapers anymore.
And even the ones that they're out there, they're like super thin now. There's like not much in there. We used to get like the Sunday paper here, like when I lived in the city growing up. And the Sunday paper used to be like huge. I mean, it was like no joke. It was like thick as could be. And it was like all the ads were in there, circulars and the TV guide. And like there was so much stuff in that paper. And now it's like this now. There's nothing in there.
I don't even bother with it
It's
anymore.
even
It's all
smaller in
online now.
size. Yeah. Yeah. So it's just how technology is.
Yeah, yeah. I did not grow up without indoor plumbing, but I did go to some family reunions where the toilet was out in the building in the back. Down in Texas, yeah. So, well, thank goodness I didn't grow up with it though.
Yeah.
Splinters in your butt aren't any fun.
So, has anybody been working on their layouts in chat over there? What's going on with your layout?
Oh, I know what I was going to say. When you put pictures in on the Facebook page, put a link to your channel if you've got a channel.
Yeah,
YouTube channel. Put a link to it in there too.
So people know if you
Yeah,
want.
they can just click right on there and go to your channel.
It's up to you if you want to do it.
Yeah, because I'm always interested in what other people do, because we've said it 100 times, there's so many different ways to achieve the same goal, and the ends sometimes are nearly identical, even though you didn't get there the same way.
Yeah, speaking of, it's like I had to reverse my what I'm using for is basically ballast I'm using for dirt and airbrushing it. And I had to take some up and I put it down with matte medium. I couldn't believe how easy it came up and how fast it came up.
It's a game changer. It really is.
I've never had to reverse like an Elmer's glue ballast because that's what my end scale was. I've never had to reverse it, so I never, messed around with how long it takes to come up. But I mean, literally, like I think it might have took like 10 or 15 seconds for that alcohol to whatever the glue.
It just turns it to gel. Really, what it does. It turns it into a gel.
Pushed it off with my finger. I couldn't believe it. And then like it got hard again. Like I took it off and put it in a pile in a plate to throw it out because I wasn't going to mess around and try to reuse it. And it did get hard again.
Yeah, and one of the things that I really like about it is if whatever you're using it for works, and I would say most of the time, anything that you're going to use white glue for, you could use matte medium for. Yeah. But when you dump some out, like, sorry, I keep a lid for my glues, and you can see that I've got a puddle of yellow glue because sometimes yellow glue is just what you need and what you want. And I've got a puddle of the matte medium. The matte medium, it almost doesn't get a skin, right? You can dip in and out of that for whatever you're making use of it for at least 3 to 5 times longer than any other glue I've ever worked with.
Yeah.
And you can just keep using it, and it just doesn't hardly get a skin.
Do you have a bottle? Do you have a bottle of matte medium handy? Do you have your bottle of matte medium handy?
Oh yeah.
Show Ray. He's got a question mark. I don't know if he's serious or not. Or
The latex matte medium. So and here's another thing. I've set this aside because it's never come up, but I thought eventually, it might come up. But like, here's some yellow glue that I chipped out
making bigger. Yeah.
Of my thing. So the yellow glue
gets brittle. Yeah. Yeah.
Here's the matte medium.
Yeah, it's still kind of rubbery, huh?
Yeah. Now, if I keep bending it, it will tear.
Yeah.
But, if you use this to lay your track with or whatever, it's also going to absorb more sound as well. It's which I'm not saying that you should use it for everything.
No, I'm not saying
anything you can use white glue for, you can use that for.
Yeah.
It's just a matter of, do you find it cost prohibitive? Because it's going to be more expensive than white glue.
Yeah,
but
I
haven't used a ton of it to make me think that, oh God, this is expensive, Just has
for the most part, you're not using it straight. You're diluting it so much. And like everybody said, I don't know, but I'm just going by what people are saying. Like they use white glue 50-50. Well, I use matte medium 80-20 or 90-10, 90% water, 10% glue. Yeah. Like, I mean, and like I get the same results. Like the ballast is like a rock. Like it's not going nowhere.
Yeah, all of this has been laid with matte medium.
Yeah. I mean,
Dennis, did you show a bottle of Mod Podge there?
Matte
Not
medium.
Mod Podge. I showed a bottle of matte medium.
It's actual matte medium from another. Yeah, Mod Podge is matte medium. So
yeah, basically, I've
same thing.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I don't know that there's any chemical differences between the two.
Yeah, I don't know what's in it.
This is 16 fluid ounces. Mod Podge generally comes.
Yes, there are different matte mediums to choose. There's slow drying matte medium. There's
in an 8 fluid ounce bottle is usually what your Mod Podge comes in. This is gloss.
Yeah, yeah, you can get it in different finishes, but that's a small bottle. I get a little bit bigger. It's about twice that.
Yeah,
and like Hobby Lobby, it's $10 a bottle. At least it was last time I bought some. It's probably more than that now. But yeah, if you're diluting it down, you still get quite a bit out of it.
So the best place for matte medium is if you got a Hobby Lobby, go to Hobby Lobby.
Yeah, it's the easiest place to find it.
It's the easiest place to
Hobby
find
Lobby, a Michael's, someplace like that.
Yeah.
Target probably have it, or
I don't know.
Walmart.
Never tried.
I've been inside of Target forever.
Well, I try not to go in there, but even a Walmart, but you look in the craft area.
JP, are you talking like for ballast and things? Just regular matte medium? Matte. It's just matte medium, but they do have a slow dry. I went to Hobby Lobby once and they had slow dry, and I've got that.
Yeah, I think the green label is going to indicate what we use. The green label of matte medium in the latex.
But in all fairness, the slow dry is green too.
Is it?
Yeah.
And Digger, you're not supposed to snort it, dude.
Yeah.
I haven't noticed a smell at all with this stuff.
No, that medium doesn't smell.
I don't know. I don't notice Mod Podge.
I don't even notice Mod Podge smelling either. But
I mean, it probably does. If you're real sensitive to smells, you might be able to smell it.
I'm pretty sensitive to smells.
Yeah.
I don't. Does it smell?
Of course, this is the gloss. I don't have any matte to know, but it definitely has an aroma significantly more. Like I don't know that I've ever noticed a smell with this stuff.
I guess you could use it for water effects, the gloss version.
I mean, there's a slight, if you really inhale deep, but definitely a huge difference between the smells between the two.
I mean, if you use,
I don't notice matte medium or Mod Podge, I think, because I spent 40 years with PVC glue. So
PVC glue.
you hang around that, you don't smell much
Probably.
anything else.
Water effects, like I wouldn't use it for any kind of deep water, but like a tiny little puddle or something, probably.
Yeah, you could use it. You could use it for like waterfall.
Well, I
the,
mean,
the stuff that Woodland Scenics uses for that is really
I
worth it. I
think,
don't know if it's exactly the same, but
you know, the GAC 500, and of course, you know, I think this is essentially gloss Mod Podge, probably. I would say that there's very little difference between the two, but that's what you use this stuff for, you know, is for water effects.
That's your
Because
water.
it leaves a nice gloss finish, and you can put multiple thin layers and build it up to create whatever you're looking for without having to mix and pour epoxy.
Yeah, that's
is
a
that
pain.
is
How
that
thick do you
clear?
think you could?
Do what?
Is that clear?
Yes.
How thick could you do you think?
I haven't done a lot with it yet, but I've still got a few more layers I'm going to put on because I haven't really gone in and tried to create any water ripples yet, but I'm going to do that before the video for the river drops. But that's GAC 500.
That's water?
Yeah, that's supposed to be a river. It's supposed to be. Sorry guys if it doesn't look like one, but yeah, that's my little test experiment for using the GAC 500 on just painted wood. How viable is that for me? And again, I'm not finished with it yet, so I'm still kind of out on how I should go about doing it. I don't think I like the color I painted the river is probably the biggest issue.
How thick?
I think I've got 3 thin layers just painted on like you would paint of any kind, you know, if you just
like you're not gonna, are you gonna be able to, would you be able to fill like an 1/8 void?
1/8 inch?
Yeah.
I wouldn't do it all at once.
Right. Obviously. Like,
right. I mean, the answer is yes. In successive thin layers, I would say, yeah, you could do that.
Yeah.
But the idea with it is that you create the illusion of depth,
right,
by having whatever color you're wanting to represent, and then the shine is what's going to give you the illusion of depth. Yeah, I think it works particularly well if you're trying to create a water surface that is not transparent. If you don't need to see through the water or anything in the depth of the water, then I think it's a very economical way of doing it with no worry about epoxy.
Yeah. Epoxy.
You know, yeah.
Split on me in certain areas, really.
Yeah. Did you put it thick in one
split?
Did you do it thick in one application, or was it several layers?
So you're saying the Mod Podge split, like it probably dried out too fast or something?
Well, yeah. If you say pour it in, and it's any thickness there, that'll probably do that.
Yeah.
But if you paint it on like Dennis is saying, it shouldn't do that.
Oh, I just realized IHVRR, not bad, is Wilmer.
Hey, Wilmer.
Yeah, it's.
I'm like, who's this IHVRR guy? It wasn't hitting me.
Well, it's not bad.
Yeah.
I was like, you know,
yeah. You look at the first 3 or 4 letters and kind of stop.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's changed everybody's names. I don't think we have any new people in here. They're all just changed their names to stuff we don't recognize.
Yeah, pretty much. But yeah,
That's good to see, Wilmer.
I mean, there's a lot of ways to do things, right? It's
Mhm.
Oh yeah.
I mean, if you want to try new things, it's great. If you don't, keep doing what you're doing.
Well, and doing what Dennis did there with the little, like a diorama.
Yeah,
If you want to try some techniques in something and you're not sure if it's going to work, do a little diorama, or even something smaller than that. It can be 6 inches by 6 inches.
yeah.
It doesn't have to be big, but try it, and then you'll be surprised at what will work in places.
Yeah, what will work and what won't work, right?
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah.
I know one thing, if you don't try something that you've never tried before, you won't know whether or not you like it. That's for sure.
Yeah, that's the thing. You got to be willing to try new things. There's a lot of stuff out there. There are so many different products out there that give you different effects. Some of them are really expensive. Some of them aren't. There's, look around on YouTube, see what people are doing, and try some stuff. Good morning, Dave. Dave, where are you? We were trying to figure out where you are in Wyoming.
If you
Yeah,
don't
what
mind
town are
letting
you
us
in?
know and doxing
I mean,
yourself.
you don't have to say your exact town. I'm by such as. How far are you from Mark? That's what we really wanted to know.
You
But
didn't want to tell anybody.
it's okay. I don't blame you. I wouldn't tell anybody either. I would let a shady
Well, he's out in
individual.
the middle of nowhere. I'm pretty sure of that.
Yeah.
He's as bad as Dennis is.
Yeah, I mean, you just do. I mean, you don't have to do a diorama. Sometimes I'll try different things on a piece of wood or something, and just a piece of scrap. Dave is in nowhere, Wyoming.
Mark, he's in the middle of nowhere, Wyoming.
I can relate to that.
4 light years from me.
Not far enough from Mark. I love it.
Far enough.
Not far enough.
Cody.
60 miles east of Cody. Okay.
So you're like an hour. Would that be like an hour for you guys, or? Because I know Container Man said he went and operated at Mark's, and then he came over to your place, Dave.
Anyway.
I kind of think I kind of got the feeling if Mark moved back to the East Coast, Dave would miss him.
I'm sure they would still find ways to insult each other online, right?
Yeah, I'm pretty sure they would.
He can insult people from anywhere, so that's easy.
Yeah.
But it's that close-up stuff. It's
Okay, he's an hour from Cody and 3.5 hours from Mark.
You're 3.5 hours from Mark?
That's about how far Claude and I are from each other. Maybe a little less.
Yeah, it's right about 3.5. It depends on how fast you're going.
Right.
But yeah, we're about 3.5 hours from each other.
Didn't you just say Mark's 60 miles from you?
No. He said he was 60 miles east of Cody, Wyoming.
Isn't that where Mark lives, Cody?
No, he's in Casper.
I think he's in Casper, yeah.
Oh, damn, 3.5 hours. That's a long way.
Like a bad penny.
Well, Jerry, have you said that you needed to pull up some of your rock work or groundwork. What was going on there? What prompted you to have to do that?
That little background building that I built, this little building here that sits on my backdrop. I was going to put grass around the back of it, right? I was going to put grass around the back of it. That's going to be raw stone. It's hard to say. My camera won't pick it up. But I decided to put concrete. So I tore up, the stone and put some concrete down.
So you just decided you wanted concrete instead of dirt.
Yeah, I thought concrete
Okay.
looked better behind this, And it's just a little, maybe 10 foot, 8 foot area around each side, like a perimeter. And I thought concrete would be better. More building fitting,
Yeah. Have you built any more buildings or modeled anything new or
No, not really.
Well, I got the ore bins finished on my mine.
Oh yeah, you decided what you wanted.
Yeah. I know that there will be people that aren't satisfied with this, but it's my railroad.
Yeah.
Oh man, that looks good.
Yeah, that looks nice. So
The complaint, as I understand it, is that this ore bin is not big enough for a rail served mine. That it probably would have been twice or maybe 3 times bigger than this in order for it to make sense for a rail served mine. But that doesn't bother me at all. And I don't know if you can, but all in all,
that's the one that came with the kit.
Yes.
Right.
Now I had to alter this end out here because the kit it's supposed to be turned 90 degrees this way, so it should be facing these should be facing straight out that way. So I did a little bit of alteration in here so that I could turn it sideways and it would make sense for my footprint.
Right.
That's what
I've got code 55 in-scale rail. They provided wood. So it's probably a little taller than what the prototype would have been as far as rail goes. But I don't think anyone would really care about that. They might, but who cares?
What's the smallest rail height you could get? 40? Can you get 40?
I think you can get 40. Yeah.
40's the smallest I've been able to find, and that's what I used on my mines. But I don't think it's that big a deal.
Yeah. Yeah, that came out nice.
Yeah, it looks
now
really good.
I'm probably 75% finished with the hoist house. I'm in the process of putting on the battens. And I'll tell you, that was a decision that I would think a little bit harder about if we're going to do it again. They're individual battens.
Yeah, it's a lot of work.
Yeah, I would say it.
It's worth it though. It looks good.
I do think if you want board and batten, if that's something that you really like and you think it's what you want, it's worth it. But I would say it's doubled the amount of time it's taken me to build the kit. I think I would be finished with the kit right now if it wasn't for the battens.
Yeah, but I think it probably would look better doing it your way as opposed to if you got board and batten like styrene sheets.
Yeah, because they're going to be uniform size. That's one thing about these is they are absolutely not uniform. Not any one piece of provided batten is the same size, not usually even in itself. Yeah. If that makes sense. It might start at this size at this end, but by the time you get to this end down here, and chopped it in half 3 or 4 different times, it's different than what you started.
But doing it your way, you have the ability to stain a certain amount, a different color or a different shade if you wanted to.
You could,
Doing
yeah.
Doing it the other way, you got no. I mean, it'd be a pain. Probably.
Yeah. Again, my understanding about how board and batten actually worked, they rough cut, or at least when that building would have been built, they rough cut all of those planks.
Right.
They threw them up on the framing, and then they took the batten and then nailed the batten in between the gaps.
Right.
And so all of it was very rough. And so having different sized battens and a slightly different color because you stained them, not in the exact same way you stained the building, adds to the total effect. So yeah.
A good place to see that is if you're ever in central Colorado around Buena Vista. If you go to St. Elmo, which is not too far from there, which is heading up toward the Alpine Tunnel, where the Alpine Tunnel was. St. Elmo's a town that they've got a lot of the original buildings still there. And in fact, there's been a few people moved up there, and they're trying to keep the town historically intact. But you can see it real easy in those buildings. What he's just explaining, how those were built.
Yeah, with what they called balloon framing.
Dennis, that building that you just showed us is wood. All of it's wood, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Are any of the buildings now and in the future are they all going to be wood, or are you going to use some styrene, or you don't know?
I mean, I'm certainly not opposed to styrene, though. So, sorry for the terrible noise. The Katy Grain elevator, the backside, the truck pull through, that's all styrene.
Okay.
I don't think anything else I've built on the railroad is plastic at all. There's things I love about working with plastic. There are things that still kind of elude me, I guess. I haven't developed that skill enough that I feel comfortable, like maybe starting a whole building with it. Like eventually I'm going to build the huge mine back there. I haven't conceived the idea at all that I would want to do it with plastic instead of wood.
Yeah, we started a joke.
It's funny. I told myself this morning after I drank my cup of coffee, the first thing I was going to do when I come out here was oil the door and the seat. But I'm senile and completely forgot about it and didn't do it.
Well, you can go get your WD-40 and do it while you're on the show.
It does sound like a single chime whistle, though.
Yeah.
You can show us how to properly
high-pitched whistles.
WD-40 things.
Yeah.
Yeah. But I do want to build some things in plastic, completely out of plastic. I just haven't figured out exactly what the best subject to do it with first is. Yeah. Because in my opinion, I know that I can get what I want out of wood in the paints that I'm doing. Kind of like what we said before. Yeah. I'm comfortable working in that environment, and anything you do out of plastic, you're pretty much going to have to paint in a way that you're going to create. If you're creating wood out of plastic, there's a lot more steps involved in getting that to look like convincing wood, as opposed to stain and real wood.
Oh, sure. Yeah, no, you're never going to, I mean, in that scale, right? It would be really hard to duplicate the look of wood in plastic. That would be convincing enough.
I think that you can, but I think it requires a lot more, a lot more skill and or experience in doing it.
Yeah. And now the bigger the scale, I mean, you might be able to do it better but in that scale, it's hard to see all the grain in wood and in plastic. If you do it in plastic, it's
It's a
just
lot.
it's so much easier to work with the wood as opposed to the plastic.
Well,
In my
yeah,
opinion,
yes and no. Yes and no.
I don't
Because the thing I love about plastic is with the right kind of glue and plastic, in 3 seconds it's glued together, right? Where with wood, and I hate using super glue. I don't like using CA, but using CA with wood is the only way you can kind of get it glued right now. Otherwise, you're waiting on it at least 5 or 10 minutes before it has enough bond that you can kind of manipulate it and not worry about it. With plastic, like in less than 10 seconds, you're ready to move on.
Yeah. I like wood for the fact, especially for what I'm modeling, I like it because you can use a stain on it that will replicate wood that's been out in the weather unpainted for a long
With
time.
one
Bleach,
application.
with one application, that bleach look.
Yep.
And plastic is so hard to get to look anything like that.
Yeah, there's a lot more involved in getting plastic to represent wood accurately. I agree with that.
And so it's just a lot easier to use, in my opinion. Plus, all the kits that I was using, not all of them, but a lot of them were Campbell's scale model kits, which were all wood anyway. They were all old school kits. So it just worked much easier for me to use those kits, and I was able to use stains and stuff and paint if I wanted to. Because I did a lot of paint where it looked like it had been whitewashed and peeled and stuff like that. But I still got a better look on wood than I would have ever gotten on plastic. Yeah. In my skill set.
Yeah,
not too many concrete buildings will be on my layout.
But they would
how do you make sure the walls stay dry?
True. I think he means
true. Gotcha. That's one of the reasons why I prefer stains over paint, because if you go back in my catalog of videos far enough, you'll find that a lot of my buildings are made out of solid blocks of wood. That's the easiest way to make sure that there's zero chance of warpage. The rest of it is bracing the building. Sorry.
Yeah, putting bracing on your wood pieces or painting both sides of the wood, paint the interior too.
That helps, but it's not going to solve it. Like this kit has no guidance for bracing whatsoever. There's no mention of bracing, nothing in the instructions of bracing. Another good thing about creating mock-ups and multiple mock-ups is you kind of learn the bracing techniques that you might need for this kind of kit. But that's what I did, you just kind of have to piece it together, figure out where do I want my bracing, what's going to interfere with the bracing, what's not, and then put it in there. And for the most part, it'll be okay. Like I for sure want bracing on, like here I've got it on this corner, and then the matching piece on the other end will have a similar piece to this, so that when they mate together, you've got your corners braced.
Right.
Well, there's a lot of times too that I would stain something like a building wall panel like that, side of a building, and just put it under weight until it dries.
Yeah, you can do
that. It takes a little longer to dry that way, but when you get it
in
out
my
from under the weight,
experience, there's almost always going to be a little bit of a bow or a little bit of some kind of deformity that you just have to live with, and that's where bracing is going to be the game changer.
Yeah.
Because like one of these, where's it at?
And I would use basswood for bracing on any of the ones I've had to brace. Yeah.
Like on that one, you can see the holes. See the difference in the stain. That's my 1, 2, 3 block and I still needed. You can still see because there's a mating wall that comes through here, that connects this way. There's still a little bit of a bow that, you're just not going to get rid of until you glue it together. And then when you glue it together, it should right itself just enough that it'll be okay. And these kinds of buildings, I would be willing to bet that they weren't true even after they built them.
Yeah.
Oh, Dennis, brand new houses aren't true.
Yeah, brand new houses, it's hard to find a 90-degree corner.
The trick for us is in our scale, what is the variance, the run out, whatever you want to call it, is it so perceptible to the eye that it would have been feet, instead of what in the real world would have been maybe 3/4 of an inch or God forbid 2 inches of change in your square. Like this building, if you go back far enough in my very first videos where I'm putting up the walls in here, this building was not square, not by a long shot. And I kind of struggled, because I couldn't want the measurement from here to there in the middle of the room was not the same measurement from here to there on either end of the room. So that wall back there's got a nice, great big old bow in it that just is what it is. That's why I had to do some strange things with the plywood mating up against that wall.
Yeah, that's par for course.
Yeah, you want to check, see if anything's square. Get you a piece of plywood, full sheet of plywood, and lay it up against something. It'll tell you real quick if it's square or not.
Yep.
But yeah, especially all the old buildings like at mining towns. Any of those buildings were all rough cut, so you can get away with a lot of that stuff because that's what it looked like. And any of those buildings still standing, they still look that way. They've got that's another one up north of Silverton, of Animas Forks. They've got some that they're trying to preserve up there, and one of them's pretty popular building that you can actually go up and I don't know if you can go inside it, but you can go up and look inside the building, and they're basically wood planks put together.
Yeah.
How old are they? What are they from the 1800s?
Late 1800s. Animas Forks, I think, was mostly, I want to say, 1890s to 1920s.
Okay.
1920, when the silver
would have been
when
about
they messed with the
1920.
silver and knocked the silver down, that's when it kind of dried up because that's what they were mining mostly.
Artificially manipulated since the beginning of time.
Yeah, when the government back then, I don't remember exactly what it was they did, but they killed the price of silver.
Yep.
And dumped a lot of these mining towns because there was a lot of silver up there. Hence the name Silverton. I mean, that's where it got its name. But anyway, yeah, they're trying to save a lot of those buildings that are still standing. But the old mines and stuff are all built that way. Just real rough cut, huge dimension lumber for mines.
Yeah.
You go up there and see some of those mines. I mean, it's great big dimension lumber. It's amazing.
Yeah, if you look inside some of those old pictures, where they've got the inside of the tunnels and what, and you look at the beams that they're, how in the world did they get those down there, put up, and like they did? You just kind of look at that and you go, man, these were some tough hombres back then.
Yeah, they were all about as big as your little pinky around. They were skinny dudes.
No doubt.
And then working that stuff at altitude, where the air is a little thinner. That's not easy either.
Yeah, with a lungs full of coal, probably too.
Yeah, or just dirt, from mining. Yeah, they were a different breed for sure. But it's very interesting to go up there and see that. And I would recommend anybody go do.
Did they have like here, like when they did Horseshoe Curve, like they had a lot of Irish immigrants that came over during the famine, and that's who did a lot of the work there, excavating all that area. Did they have like a lot of that out there in
I think the Chinese
the Chinese probably
did a lot of the work out that way.
Yeah,
At
Chinese
least coming from the west to the east. I'm not
Yeah.
100% sure.
Yeah,
Yeah.
probably more Chinese coming from the west and Irish people coming from the east.
Be a
on
good
the
theory to
Continental
look
Railroad,
into.
they used a lot of Chinese workers.
A lot of people
Central
died.
Pacific, yeah, Central Pacific. Yeah,
Yeah.
and they worked under really bad conditions too.
Horrible, just horrible. Yeah.
Now, as far as the mines and stuff, I don't know how many Chinese were working mines. But
Yeah, not so much the mines, but like
I would think there was a lot of Irish
know,
probably up there.
the work to get the railroad to that or to do a railroad in there is where they needed a lot of people. You know.
Yeah.
Back when labor was cheap.
Yeah, pretty much.
Yeah, you had more people than you had money.
Yeah.
And that's the thing. They worked hard, from sun up to sundown, and got paid very little. That was the other thing. But
So it
different
was.
time for sure.
Yes, for sure. You wouldn't catch kids doing that now.
No, they won't work at McDonald's now.
Oh yeah, I'll keep my comments to myself about all that.
Anyway, well, I've got my grandkids are 20 years old today, so I've got firsthand knowledge of what kids today will do and won't do.
Would he have twins?
Yeah, boy
They're
and girl.
20, huh? Wow.
20 years old today. Yeah, granddaughter's up at Oklahoma State, and she's going to graduate in 3 years.
Almost old enough to drink legally.
Yeah. Well, they were able to drink when we took them on their 18th. No, it wasn't their 18th birthday. It was their graduation. So they were 18. High school graduation. Took them on a cruise, and they were able to drink in Mexico because it's
Mexico, but not in the United States of America.
Yeah. Neither one of them are partiers in that regard, though. So
I don't think kids party in the same way we did in the 80s, for sure.
probably not.
I don't know.
No.
They don't communicate they don't cloister up in like social spaces. I don't think they just type at each other online, and maybe I'm wrong, but that's what I see.
My grandson plays video games, and he's taken up golf. So him and his buddies go play golf a lot of times. But he's a big video game guy, and he's always really quiet. But they come over here, for dinner or something. After dinner, they're both on their phone, like this, right in your face.
Yeah.
Yes.
About once a month, my daughters will come to the house, for a Sunday afternoon. And sometimes their significant other will come, sometimes they won't. But they play video games. That's what they do.
Yeah.
That's what the whole world does now, I guess.
Yeah.
Well, you can bring them into your giant video game behind you.
I have, but you can just tell that there's no real interest.
Yeah.
Yeah, they're interested in seeing it, but then that's it. Once they've seen it, it's like kind of like going to the Grand Canyon,
Yeah.
It's really cool to see it, but once you've seen it, okay, now what? Unless you're going to hike up and down the thing.
Yeah.
There's nothing much else you can do but sit there and look at it.
Yeah.
So that's kind of what
I gather that this hobby would require too much attention span to enjoy in a way that, and of course, I don't want to get into any kind of crazy talk, but it's almost like there's an intentional effort to reduce people's attention spans. You know, like when I was a kid, I got home from school and went in and watched Gilligan's Island, Bewitched, whatever, you know, and the introduction to those shows, you know, that was all part of the experience, you know. And now everything's about 10 seconds or less, and then you're scrolling to the next thing, 10 seconds, scrolling to the next thing. And you know, my attention span, like when I sit down and watch a video, I sit down with the idea that I'm going to enjoy content for a period of time. I think it's completely different in anyone under the age of 30, is that they literally do not want to engage in content that too long, didn't read, you know, this video was too long. You know, I scrubbed through the whole thing, saw what I needed to see in the 10-second whatever, and I'm not going to capitulate to that. My videos have an introduction. They will continue to have an introduction. If you don't like it, skip through it.
That's a big fancy word, capitulate.
Well, and it's like you notice there's they've got the shorts on YouTube now too, and a lot of people are doing that just to get clicks and stuff like that.
I don't know if you've noticed, now you can get a summary of your video. I turn that thing off in my videos, so you can't get one from me, but you can get a summary now. There's a slide bar that you can go over and get a summary of the person's video you're watching.
Cliff notes, huh?
Yeah, Cliff Notes.
Anyway, yeah.
Anyway, Claude,
like we said earlier, I'm glad I'm old.
Yeah, me too. Anything happening over there, Claude?
I'm just continuing to get stuff thrown away as I can. I can only put so much in the trash at a time, but it's cleaning up. Yeah.
Do you plan on having a little Claude sale or something? Or
I need to. I probably won't do it until after we get back from this next cruise, but which is the end of March.
Gotcha.
But yeah, I probably will. That because I've got a lot of stuff I need to get rid of. A lot of training stuff I need to get rid of.
Right.
Problem is almost all the locomotives and stuff I have that I'd be getting rid of, the locomotives anyway, are all mostly Rio Grande. So if somebody's not into Rio Grande, they'd either have to paint it or.
Yeah, it's no big deal though. In this day and age, that's no big deal. It's not a deal breaker.
But yeah, I need to get rid of almost all that HO regular standard gauge stuff that I've got, because I'm not going to do standard at all. It'll all be narrow gauge.
So you're not even going to have any standard gauge.
No, I won't have any standard gauge at all. I won't have any standard gauge.
Do either of you have any LaBelle kits?
Me?
I've got a couple, few.
Oh, you talking about them?
Either one of you? I
do, yeah.
Yeah, they're nice kits.
I'm sure I do.
I haven't put one together yet.
How about you, Claude?
If I started one, it's been 2 or 3 years ago, and I don't know if I even finished it or not.
I think they're definitely a craftsman kit, where it's not going to be a matter of gluing 4 things together and putting trucks on it. I don't think.
Right. Yeah. I was perusing eBay, and I came across some LaBelle kits, and there's one kit that I kind of in a urban that I would like to get and build, not from a layout or anything, just to build it.
What was it, like a passenger car, or
it's like a combo car, like a
be careful. Some of those kits, like the earlier ones, if I recall, require you to shape with the top of the car where the curves are.
Oh yeah.
Yeah,
Really?
I think some of those have a lot of work involved in creating the correct shapes.
I have to look further into this kit.
Then. I think the newer ones, and I could be wrong, but I think some of the newer ones, the top of the car was maybe a one piece already built up, but
Right.
the older ones required carving and maybe putty and sanding and things like that.
Yeah. I think the newer kits maybe like they're already curved and like the roof is already basically done.
Scott probably knows.
As good raw materials for some of the older stamp details thrown out, replaced with better details. Okay. So Gerald Stewart said you got to carve the roof even on their newer kits. Like
Yeah, see, like I said, I've never put one together, but
you bought a new kit
that's
from
a
them
thing.
now. Would you have to do that too? I should email them, I guess.
Are they still in business?
Yeah.
Somebody said they're still making them.
Yeah, they're still in business. Yeah. Yeah. I went to their website. Yeah, they're still around. Yeah,
You think that's the reason?
why. That's exactly why, Jimmy. We don't want you to outshine us.
Different 93.
So some jigs are shaping the HON3.
I didn't know that.
Oh, these were not HON3, they're just HO cars this interurban that I want is a HO, it's not HON3, but yeah, I don't know. It's not that expensive. It's like $41 for the kit.
Yeah, all mine are HON3, and I bought a bunch of different kits from different manufacturers.
All mine are.
There was a lot of them that came up, would sprout up and have a run of kits, and then they'd disappear. And then somebody else would pop up and have some kits, and and there was a lot of copycatting too. I know the Timberline kits. I don't know what happened there, but the Timberline kits, a lot of their kits, and these are building kits, not car kits, but buildings, are exactly like the old Campbell kits. Same kit. I can tell by looking at them. I've built too many of them. And how that happened, I don't know. I don't know if they were licensed over or if they just started making some.
Well, I think sometimes the kit makers, because I think if you listen to anything that Michael McCarville has talked about, like him and is it Steve Banta, and there's another person that he's mentioned before where they've like, you know what? How about you take this kit, I take that kit. Where sometimes the manufacturers themselves will get together and come up with an agreement that you will produce this and I will produce that.
Yeah, that could be, because I know the original Campbell scale models sold, and the guy that bought it just here in the last 2 years ago, I think, retired and closed the company. But the kits that Timberline did had their instructions were so much easier to follow than what Campbell's were. That's one thing I didn't like about Campbell kits was their instructions were so.
Yeah, instructions are huge. Which on the kit that I'm building, like both of the instructions for both of these kit, they're both really good and also a little bit frustrating. The pictures are fantastic, but you have to pay real close attention to the pictures. And then there's parts in this one that are on the sprue never mentioned or even have a picture of. There's a picture in the parts, here are all the parts. It shows this little square part in the parts diagram. Nowhere in any of the pictures in the construction of the kit does it show up. There's also this hole right here. I presume it's where the cables come in. No, nothing, no window, there's no guidance whatsoever as to what this is. or what. I'm pretty sure it's the cable, but,
Yeah.
Does
but
the
it
box
just doesn't mention it.
Does the box have pictures of it complete?
Yeah, but
Yeah.
there's no cables going through it, nor does it mention anywhere that this is where the cables should have or would have come through. And what pictures I can find online are so old and decrepit, you can't really
Yeah.
distinguish anything.
Yeah.
Well, we've given back our 1 minute that we lost at the beginning.
Scott feels my pain. He built the cooling tower. I did it twice, Scott. I started it the first time. I messed it up so bad because I didn't understand the instructions that I bought another one and built it. And that one went better. But
I've got that kit.
And it's a handful, but it makes a great cooling tower. It really does. But it is not for the faint of heart. And you just Campbell kits, if you can even find any more of them.
You're still out there.
So this is what I'm going to leave everybody with. If you're building these kits, make some videos so people can see what you're doing so they know what to do right.
Yeah. Yeah, the Campbell kits, you just have to read the instructions 2 or 3 times, then dry fit stuff, and then read the instructions again. Sometimes that'll clear up what they're trying
Dry
to talk
fitting
about.
is
It's
always
it's not real
advantageous.
clear. Yeah.
All right.
Anyway,
Charles.
okay, that's our extra 2 minutes that we were late getting in.
Have a good
We
weekend,
gotta get out of
everybody.
here.
Yep. Take care, everyone.
Yeah. Have a good rest of your weekend and a good week, and we'll see you next week.
See you next week.
Later.